Hi everyone, my name is Murphy and I'm a sommelier. Today we are here to taste through our July box of the month, our wine and cheese box. Vinebox tastes through thousands and thousands of wines, choosing only the top 2% of wines to go into our boxes. So I hope you enjoy our curated selection. Our box is a 6-pour tasting built around one of the most iconic duos in the kitchen, wine and cheese. And we're going to examine how choosing the right wine to pair with the right cheese will elevate your tasting experience. When it comes to pairing wine and cheese, I love sharing 3 tips. First of all, think local with local, because what grows together goes together. Second off, think about the body and the overall weight of your wine and pair it with a cheese with a similar body and weightiness. For example, if we're thinking of a heavy structured red, then we might want to go with a more flavorful cheese like cheddar. Last but not least, I recommend contrasting flavor profiles. For example, you might choose a sweet wine to go with a salty or funky cheese. Our first wine is the Hobo Camp White Blend from Sonoma, California. Our wine is certified organic by the CCOF, which represents the gold standard in sustainable agriculture in Sonoma. This means our wine is made with all organic grapes. The wine is made and bottled in a certified organic facility. And last but not least, all the grapes are grown in accordance with certified organic standards. Our wine has incredible floral aromas on the nose and tangy stone fruit flavors on the palate. I would pair this wine with creamy goat cheese because the high acidity in this wine would cut right through that richness of the goat cheese, allowing you to savor one bite after another of your cheese. Our second wine is the Peltier Chardonnay from Lodi, California. Now, Lodi has a Mediterranean wine-growing climate. This means that it is a warmer wine-growing climate that's able to thoroughly ripen the grapes, so that the grapes develop full flavor potentials and high amounts of sugars. To balance this out, we need a moderating influence, a cooling influence. And that's where Lodi's location, its closeness to the Sacramento Delta, comes in handy. Cool breezes from the Delta will flow into the vineyards, lowering the overall temperatures of the vineyards, allowing the grapes to develop at a slightly slower pace, which means that the grapes can retain acidity to balance out the full flavor profile. On the nose, we have inviting aromas of crisp green apple. And on the palate, we have a wine that's dominated by generous white peach flavors. I would pair a wine like this with brie. And the reason is because our Chardonnay has enough weight to match the weight of a rich and creamy brie. Additionally, our Chardonnay has nice and sharp acidity that would pair well with the tanginess of brie. Our third wine is the Shannon Rosé, made of Grenache. Our wine hails from High Valley American Viticultural Area, from Lake County, California. Now, Lake County is considered another warm Mediterranean wine-growing region. This means that the grapes are able to ripen fully. Now, we need a moderating influence to allow that grape to retain balance. Here's where High Valley's elevation comes in. Most of the vineyards in High Valley are somewhere between 1,600 to 3,000 feet above sea level. At these heights, oftentimes you'll see cool winds flow down the mountains, dwell into the vineyards, lowering the overall temperatures to allow the grape to retain acidity and really give that grape balance. On the nose of our wine, we have delicious candied strawberries. And the palate is filled with soft red cherries. I would pair a wine like this with fresh mozzarella, because mozzarella's milky richness would truly contrast with the bright berry flavors of this wine. Our fourth wine is the Vintage Grenache from Santa Rita Hills in Santa Barbara, California. Santa Rita Hills is only about 10 miles away from the Pacific Ocean. This means that the soils there are generally filled with marine fossils. This leads to a wine that has crisp, bright acidity and oftentimes a stony oceanic minerality. Whiffs of roses and cranberries float off our glass. On the palate, we have a wine that is a mix of Mediterranean herbs as well as dark cherries. For a wine like this, I'd recommend pairing it with Manchego, which has savory depth that would definitely complement the earthiness of our wine. Our fifth wine is the Last Press Story Red Blend from Santa Barbara, California. Our vineyards are located in inland Santa Barbara. Here, the Sierra Madre, as well as the San Rafael mountain ranges, shield our vineyards from precipitation. This means there is a lower risk of fungal disease and rot, helping us to create high-quality, clean grapes. On the nose, we have whiffs of dried herbs and toasted oak. Our palate is filled with generous blackberry flavors. Our wine has medium plus acidity, a weighty body, and grainy tannins that lead into a fruit leather finish. A wine like this would go great with an aged cheddar. Aged cheddars are extremely flavorful and would not be outmatched by the dark berry flavors of our wine. Our last wine is the Apollo Cabernet Sauvignon from Paso Robles, California. Most of our grapes are coming from the Willow Creek district. Vineyards here are located on hilly terrain, and hilly terrain means better airflow because cold air descends down these hills. The airflow goes through these vines, eliminating fungal diseases and lowering the incidences of condensation gathering on the grapes and creating rot on the grapes. This makes for healthier grapes overall. We have silky vanilla on the nose, and opulent blackcurrant on the palate. For a wine like this, go with a Parmesan. Parmesan has the type of dynamic saltiness that would pair perfectly with our dark fruit-centered wine. Happy sipping! Follow us on Instagram at @Vinebox.